Morning everyone. So last week I asked the question whether EV cars give you more freedom. Today I'm going to try and answer that question, so stick around. So first little mini stop, which was unexpected, which is at Dunkirk service station, just for a quick top up, and lo and behold, Ecotricity DC CCS isn't working. Bang, out of order. So I'm stuck with an AC for a bit of a top up until I can get to a fast charger down near Folkestone. 1, 2, 3 chargers, all AC apart from that one, which isn't working. So we're now at Folkestone. I've stopped at a Ballantine gym for Instavolt. Luckily it's on free, so I arrived here on about 10 miles, 10-15% left, so just about right. The Ecotricity one that I used in Thurrock was just a top up, just to get me a little bit extra. I think just because of a bit of chilly weather this morning, the route was less than what I predicted. So in total down to Folkestone for me is about 110 miles, which should have been enough, 135, but the BMW i3 seems to recalculate. So as soon as you put an address in, it will look at fast routes, eco routes, and then readjust the amount of battery accordingly. So the guessometer, miles wise, readjusted from 135 down to about 110, and I probably could have got here, but it would have been very, very tight. So that little stop at Ecotricity, and luckily even the AC was working, the DC wasn't, shock horror, but it gave me another sort of 10-20 miles I needed just to comfortably get me here. Once I charge here, then it's heading to the Channel Tunnel. So don't know what to expect, never been on the Channel Tunnel before, never driven a car into Europe before. I've driven in the States, but you know, right hand side, so what could possibly go wrong? So keep it here anyway, and then we'll let you know where we're going. So that's the type of speed charging you need. Instavolt does it again, charging superbly quickly. No sharing the charge with somebody else either, so extra quick. So if you're thinking about travelling across to France, there's a few things that you need, which I've had to sort of either purchase or have. So general driving stuff, you need 2 official breathalyzers, one to use and one spare. You need your driver's license, obviously, passport. You need your vehicle registration document and insurance that covers, obviously, the country you're going to, in this case France. You also need high-vis jacket, warning triangle, which I'm lucky I got given these, and plus I had a few bits that come with the car as well. And if you're driving an EV like I am, then it's always best to I applied for a zero emissions sticker, so if you go into some of the cities, that's a requirement. And if you haven't got a GB sign or a Euro sign on your registration, although I'm not sure how that changes after Brexit, a GB sticker. Look at these. One day a Tesla. So made it here. We're at Folkestone Channel Tunnel entrance, just gone through passport control, British and French, and just waiting for the go to get on the train. Never done this before, seems quite easy so far. Security seems to be okay. It's not quite up to airport security, but I'm sure there's other precautions and things like that they use. So yeah, we're just waiting on to get on the train. Only just past the low vehicle limit. Apparently the i3 is a little bit higher than what I thought, so but only just made it through, but seems okay. So exciting. Where we're going or what we're doing. We're driving on the top deck of the train. So that's it. We're on the tunnel. We're parked and we're on the train on route to France, which I'll then be heading to Dunkirk, and on the same train as Robert Llewellyn and crew from Fully Charged, which is pretty cool. I saw him on a few lanes over. I doubt if you ever watched this episode, Bobby, but it was really cool to see the crew heading off to the Netherlands for your road trip. So hope you drive safe. Right, guys. So why do this trip? Weirdly, the biggest part of my trip is actually the 110 miles down to Folkestone from where I live in Hertfordshire. So, but for me, it's that freedom of an EV and proving the point that you can take a day off, literally one day, get up ridiculously early, get on the Channel Tunnel, come across, drive to France, visit a town that you've never visited before in another country, with very little issues in terms of charging. So far this morning, Ecotricity, whilst only AC, was free. Instavolt was set on free. So this trip actually has only cost me £2.50 for a cup of coffee so far. So yeah, it's really to prove a point that EVs aren't restrictive at all. The infrastructure's there and getting better. Granted, you know, some companies better than others, but you can just get in the car and drive and do what you need to do. So it's proven the point. So hopefully you'll stick with the rest of this video whilst we travel to Dunkirk, have a look around, possibly charge there if we need to, see if we can use two of the cars that I've got, Cedatrail and Kiwi. Seem to be the two main ones that you need, and yeah, just a bit of fun really across making my BMW i3 a Continental i3. And we're in France, baby. So here we are, officially a Continental i3. Driving to Dunkirk. It's not very far, it's only 30 miles, but it's small steps for me driving in Europe. Europeans seem as crazy on the motorway as British people do. Bit weird going the opposite way around the roundabout, but you know, right-hand drive. Roundabout's obviously something that when I drove in the States, something that you really didn't have to deal with. So yeah, it's this is a bit of a learning curve for me, but I'm sure we get there. So next update will be when we arrive in Dunkirk. So hello, here we are in Dunkirk. Just really to prove that spontaneous EV journeys across to Europe can be done, and quite easily, to be honest. Yeah, I had to get up really early because I was doing it in the day, but if you didn't have that restriction and you know you could stay over and do a few other journeys, it'd be well worthwhile. So it's really sunny here as well and quite warm, so it's I picked quite a nice day for it. Not bad for a Monday. Back to work tomorrow, but yeah, it can be done. Gonna have a little tour around the town and see some of the sights. It's not a bad view for a Monday morning. Really nice here. Quite peaceful, I suppose, because it's Monday morning. Everyone is at work. My advice is if you've got an EV, there's no restrictions. I mean, yeah, my journey wasn't huge. Most of my journey was the 110 miles down to Folkestone and then another 40 odd miles to Dunkirk. But this has kind of whetted my appetite to do more longer journeys, different journeys across Europe. If you haven't got an EV and you're thinking that EVs are restrictive in some way, then they're just not. It's been so easy to get down here and get across and charge, and just the whole experience has been really easy. So don't let that put you off. My car's got 120, 130 miles, it seems, in the weather this morning anyway, so it's not restrictive at all. Jellyfish in the port. What is that? So my advice, get up, get out, get in that EV and drive where you want to drive. The infrastructure is getting better and better, so that's not an excuse anymore. I just fancied doing Dunkirk. I've never been here. I've never driven in Europe, so you know that's two off my list that I've always wanted to do, and like I said, it's just made me want to do this more. Anyway, let's see a bit more of Dunkirk. Hi guys, so I'm back in the UK now. Hopefully you enjoyed that little jaunt to France. Hopefully it shows both EV drivers and non-EV drivers that EVs just aren't restrictive. Granted, I didn't do a huge amount, but 400-mile round trip and driving to another country, so it proves that it's not restrictive whatsoever, and if you really want to do a journey you can quite easily. Anyway, I'm signing off for the night because I'm heading home and going to bed. If you liked the video, please be sure to like. If you don't already subscribe, please do so. Please tweet this video, share it, inflict it as always on other people, and thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.